Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Neha Bhardwaj. This is Game On. This is where all the top stories from the world of sports can be seen. And we've got to begin with IPL 2025. Gujarat Titans and Rajasthan Royals. They will hope that their bowling units find their range on an Ahmedabad flatbed in an IPL match that holds a lot of significance to these two teams and their progress in the league. Yes. The Titans now have 6 points, and a win will keep them in the top spot of the points chart, or at least in the top 2 of the points chart, while the Royals, who now have 4 points, will need the win to wriggle free from that mid-table tussle. Gujarat Titans have scored 3 wins on the trot, and RR have won 2 in successive matches. Gujarat Titans are second in the points table, whereas RR will be desperate to move up from that lowly 7th place. The form of ace spinner Rashid Khan and the experienced quick Ishant Sharma is not encouraging, even when they've operated at the more helpful tracks at Bengaluru and Hyderabad. Rashid has taken just 1 wicket from 4 matches while giving away in excess of 10 runs and over. Ishant is a co-sailor in this ship of turmoil, bagging just a solitary wicket in 3 matches while leaking 12 runs in an over. Now, Gujarat Titans might be tested by the Rajasthan lineup, who have some explosive names in Sanju Samson, Dhruv Jurel, Riyan Parag and Nitish Rana. All have made runs at a strike rate of well over 150. The lone missing link is Yashasvi Jaiswal, whose 101 runs from 4 matches came at 131.16, and in that too, 67 runs came in a single match against Punjab Kings at Mullanpur. The Royals will hope that he will continue in the same vein, or at least get better, as the Indian team management is keeping a close eye on the left-handers' outings. In the bowling department, RR has a deeper issue, as Sandeep Sharma, leaving him out, none of the other bowlers have been able to stem the run flow. However, Jofra Archer's effort against Punjab Kings will offer them a semblance of consolation going into a potentially high-scoring game. Ahmedabad Stadium has produced scores of 243, 232, 196 and 160 in their last 4 completed innings here. So, it will leave some creases on the foreheads of the RR bowlers, who will be up against a fine batting side of GT. The home side batters such as Shubman Gill, Joss Butler, Rutherford, B. Sai Sudarshan, they're all in fine touch in this IPL. The excellent effort of Washington Sundar, who scored a 49 against the Kings, has also added more teeth to GT's batting unit. So a lot to look forward to in this match at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad tomorrow. Okay, world number 1 Norwegian chess player Magnus Carlsen kicked off the freestyle chess Grand Slam taking place in Paris against Indian chess player Vidit Gujrati on Monday. Freestyle chess, which ensures a new starting position at each game, gives it a unique character. Magnus Carlsen has said this. Their freestyle chess CEO, Jan Henrik Buechner, he said the organization is open to new formats and to open it more to a rapid and blitz kind of format in addition. From April 7th to 14th, 12 of the world's leading grandmasters will compete for a $750,000 prize pool, with $200,000 awarded to the champion in a format that organizers hope will redefine elite chess tournaments. From the Indian angle, world champion D. Gukesh endured a nightmarish start to his campaign at the Paris leg of the Freestyle Chess Grand Slam Tour, suffering 4 defeats in 6 matches on the opening day. The 18-year-old, who entered the tournament as one of the favorites, was outplayed by heavyweights Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura. In contrast, Arjun Erigesi, he has been the standout performer among the Indian contingent so far, with 3 wins. R. Pragnananda, he secured 2 wins and a draw in 6 matches, while Vidit Gujrati, he's at the bottom of the points table with just 1 win. Carlsen leads this table with 5 victories.
Firstly, there is no opening preparation, which I think gives the game a unique character, and it means that it's more mind against mind, and you can actually do something creative from the very first moves. And for me, it's so much more exciting to sit down at the board and to be able to create something new and know that every game is going to be an event. I feel like this is kind of the ultimate challenge, to sit down at the board, have plenty of time on the clock, but having to figure it out from the very start, and to see these top chess players both struggle but also thrive at times.
We try to make chess much more accessible. We make it entertaining and exciting for people that maybe aren't the top level chess players, that are more amateur and casual players. We had a lot of content creators on board, and we continue to do so. And I think here in Paris, we obviously learned a lot still at Weissenhaus, and so we're turning it up a notch every time, and are super excited about how it's going so far.
We are trying to evolve the game, and so we are very open to new things. And I can tell you, we are just discussing, for example, ideas that even we haven't discussed with Magnus or the players yet, thinking about integrating like other forms. So for example, right now we are considering the fact maybe to open it more to like a rapid and blitz kind of format in addition,
Iconic tennis player and former world #1 Billie Jean King received the 2,807th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Monday. King famously competed against male tennis player Bobby Riggs in the 1973 Battle of the Sexes in order to promote equal pay between male and female sports stars. She ended up defeating Riggs. Former basketball player Magic Johnson was a special guest at the ceremony. He hailed the tennis legend as an amazing person who fought for equal pay to women tennis players.
Last one to the right, Billy. She's an amazing person, and what I love about Billie Jean is that she used her platform to bring about change. When we talk about that battle of the sexes, it was more than just you beating Bobby Riggs. You was fighting for equal pay for women, and all these young ladies who making all these millions and millions of dollars today should be thanking you for what you did for all of them.
King was the first female athlete to receive both the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the Congressional Gold Medal. She's the founder of both the Women's Sports Foundation and the Women's Tennis Association. King came out as a lesbian in 1981, and she's advocated for LGBTQ+ rights. King's wife, former tennis player Ilana Kloss, also attended the ceremony. Actor Jamie Lee Curtis, who also attended the event, she appreciated King for helping women sportspersons.
There is not a woman in any professional sport or any LGBTQ+ human being whose life has not been shaped and helped and supported by this extraordinary woman's great talents and her even greater contributions in improving the lives of other people on a daily basis through her words, actions, and the extending of her hand and her experience, strength, and hope to everyone she meets with an open, beautiful. Sports are entertainment. And as athletes, we love performing in front of an audience. We love it, just like you actors. The first women athletes to receive a star were Sonia Henne and Esther Williams, but they were honored for their work in movies. I was fortunate to attend Holly Hunter's star ceremony in 2008, and I remember thinking back then, oh man, this is really cool. This would be unbelievable. And I think, oh, I'm never going to get there, but here I am.
It brings back so many memories of when I was a child, and I wanted to be #1 tennis player in the world, and my mother and I particularly, and my parents, besides sports, my mother and I really loved the music and the movies, and when she would take me to a match and she'd see a movie star, she goes, oh, I can't believe it. So it was so much fun to come up to the Hollywood area and be a part of it. So it means a lot to me today. It connects my early life to, it completes it.
It's a huge night for Champions League action as Arsenal face Real Madrid in the quarterfinals at the Emirates Stadium in London. The last time when the two teams crossed paths in the Champions League, Arsenal notched a narrow 1-0 victory on aggregate. Thierry Henry struck the winner in the opening leg of the round of 16 fixtures in Madrid at that point. The return face-off at Highbury ended in a goalless draw. This time though, Real Madrid have set the bar sky high with the 6 Champions League titles in a decade, and their demanding fans have been voicing concerns at last year's European and Spanish champions' struggle for consistency this season. Coach Carlo Ancelotti seemed unfazed by the clamour from outside, however, as Real prepare to visit Arsenal in their Champions League quarter-final first leg. Following an almost flawless campaign in which they won the Champions League and La Liga titles with only 2 losses in all competitions over the entire season last time, expectations were massive following the signing of the France captain Kylian Mbappe. But Real have struggled to find their mojo, losing 5 La Liga games and a few in other competitions, including 2 heavy losses to bitter rivals Barcelona, who they face in the Copa del Rey final this month. Following a disappointing 2-1 home defeat by Valencia on Saturday, Real are second in the La Liga standings with 63 points, 4 points behind Barca with 8 games left. They do have history on their side, though. They haven't lost the first leg of any of their last 8 Champions League knockout stage ties, and Arsenal will know they will need to win this game. Arsenal will watch out for Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe has a good record against English competition. The Frenchman has scored 10 goals in 16 games against English teams in Champions League.
Not quite sure if he would play tomorrow.
We can't think about the criticism when we have a match every 3 days. We failed in the match against Valencia. We analysed and assessed that. Like I said after the match the other day, we have to prepare well for this match. It's obviously very important, a very important 90 minutes, but not decisive because there's another 90 to play at the Bernabeu.
No, for sure, he's one of the best ever players to play for like in Belgian national team and with the Belgian nationality. Also in the Premier League, I think obviously winning 6 Premier Leagues. I think what he gave to City, I guess he's one of the best players also to have played in the Premier League. And obviously last time we were in the national team, I kind of felt maybe that he was going to move on. So it was not entirely surprised to hear him say this now last week, but yeah, I'm sure he's a great player and one of the greatest in the Premier League. And obviously I hope next year also with Belgium he can still be at the highest level and that we can reach the World Cup and have a great World Cup together.
Arsenal have not made it past the Champions League semi-final since 2009, but their manager Mikel Arteta wants his side to write their own history when they host Real Madrid for that first leg of the quarterfinals. Arsenal haven't featured in the Champions League since 2008-2009 season in semi-finals. With Mikel Arteta in charge, the Gunners will be keen to break that streak this time. They blew away PSV Eindhoven in the round of 16. They scored 7 goals at home while conceding just 1. The second leg in Eindhoven ended at 2-2. Madrid, the record 15 times European champions. They won 6 Champions League, like I said, since 2009, while Arsenal continue their hunt for a first crown. Arteta, whose team last year bowed out of the competition after a quarter-final loss to German side Bayern Munich, he urged his side to back themselves. Winger Bukayo Saka did not start in Arsenal's 1-1 Premier League draw at Everton on Saturday, only coming in the 46th minute. But the 23-year-old, who scored 10 goals and provided 14 assists in 26 matches in all competitions for Arsenal this season, is back. And that is a huge boost for Arsenal. Real Madrid have the star power to advance to the semi-finals, but they've not been playing better than Arsenal in recent months. So, will Le Blancos put it together?
Is it one of the biggest nights, if not the biggest night in management for you personally?
100%. It's a joy to prepare the game, to look at them, just to look at the reaction of people and how we feel about ourselves coming to a game of that magnitude, the excitement around the club, the people. This is the stage that we want to be, where Arsenal has to be consistently, and we are very proud to be there, and now be very ready tomorrow to deliver. I think we are, and you know, building those experiences is something necessary. That's why I said that we have to build our own story, because, as you said, there is a massive gap there of so many years when nothing has happened in this football club in relation to European competitions, and we need to change that, and we need to change that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask my physios, there was a lot of conversation about this game. I'm wanting to be back, and not just back in good shape. I'm feeling good, so yeah, that's what I spent a lot of months working massively towards, and yeah, we're here now, so I'm excited. Yeah, so I think mentally it was really good for me. Obviously, it was really tough initially to find out the extent of my injury, that I was going to have surgery. It was really tough for me to hear the news at first, but you know, once it was done and it was successful, I was, you know, just focused on coming back stronger, and I had a lot of time. You know, obviously the past 5 years I've been playing game after game, so it was the first like proper break I've had, and it was really good for me. I got to do a lot of things that I don't really.
Bayern Munich will host Inter Milan on Tuesday in the other quarter-final first-leg tie at the Allianz Arena. Bayern will be missing several key players, but manager Vincent Kompany has complete faith in those that are available. Already without goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, defenders Hiroki Ito, Alphonso Davies and Dayot Upamecano, and forward Kingsley Coman. Kompany lost midfielder Jamal Musiala to a thigh injury in Friday's 3-1 Bundesliga win over Augsburg. But despite that last weekend's 3-1 win and recent Champions League outings, it will aid the team's confidence. Bayern put in 2 good displays to claim a 5-0 aggregate win over Bayer Leverkusen in the round of 16. Kompany was giving little away when asked if Thomas Müller could be given a starting role with Musiala ruled out. Fan favourite Müller, he announced on Saturday that he will leave Bayern at the end of the season after the club did not offer the 35-year-old a new contract, but Kompany's focus is on the challenge ahead. Inter arrive in Munich on the back of a disappointing domestic result as they were held to a 2-2 draw away at Parma on Saturday. The defending Serie A champions had led 2-0 at halftime through goals from Matteo Darmian and Marcus Thuram. However, they remain top of the table with 68 points from 31 games and are also into the Coppa Italia semi-finals.
The preparation for Inter Milan, that was the priority in the last few days of not only me, but all the players and the training staff. And of course, in a situation like this, it's quite normal after such a communication that you have to respect this process. That, of course, the career of such a legend, it's all so big now. It's quite normal. And as I said, a lot of respect for the openness and that it's a big issue. But ultimately my role, as I've been saying all season, my role is to make sure that the players are prepared for the next game.
Now, Thomas Müller, he will leave the German record champions at the end of the season after 25 trophy-laden years. In a message on social media platform, he confirmed that Müller thanked his fans, emphasized there remains no negativity between him and the club. He said he has a positive outlook and is now focused on their next game against Inter Milan. In a previous statement on social media, Müller said he would have liked to stay on but respects the club's decision to not renegotiate another contract with him. He did not make any reference to the next step of his club career. Müller, for years a guaranteed starter, had seen his playing time drop sharply in the last 2 seasons and now only plays a minor role under coach Vincent Kompany.
Georgia, please.
Austrian ambassador to India, Katharina Wiese. She hosted a heartwarming reception for the 28 young Indian tigers and tigresses who recently returned from an intensive training program in Austria. From inspiring conversations to a selfie moment and high tea at the Austrian embassy, the envoy reaffirmed her commitment to strengthening India-Austria ties through sports and cultural exchange. Watch how this special interaction is shaping India's football future as we say goodbye.
Goalkeeper was excellent. He's been training for I think 40 years now, so he's very old, very good, very experienced.
As he said, I can never get it out of my head. It's gonna be like, yeah, exactly. I in my memory forever.
It was just so great to be sitting here in India, watching those videos in Gmunden in Austria, where the weather was not so good. We were already, quite hot here in India. I could see that they were quite cold at the beginning of the training. But
still better than here, Ambassador.
Yeah, maybe easier to have, physical exertion when it's not so hot. But then I saw how nice, how open they were and how well they reacted to the program. So, and now we are repeating it a little bit here in the garden of the residence. We're happy that the sun has set, so it's a bit cooler now. But it's so wonderful to speak to all of them, from 11 to 17, and girls and boys, and playing together. And I think it's quite clear that this sort of this team building exercise. So number one, football is a team sport. So already you have to focus on many things, and you have to play together and be together, and also to go abroad together at that age for a whole week for a training program, to be away from your family for so long. It also is a great bonding.
At such a young age as well.
Yeah. So I think I hope that I have the impression that they all have had a very good and positive experience, and they will keep it in mind, I'm sure, because what one does at that age, usually one doesn't forget. So I hope that they will forever, these 28 young boys and girls, they will keep Gmunden and Austria in their mind.
And the ambassador also kicked off the event, quite literally, with passing the ball to the kids, and then they started, answering those questions. And I've seen this, ambassador. You're going to each and every one of these kids, from the smallest one to the most eldest. What is their feedback like? What is it that you've learned from their experience?
So many of them mentioned how beautiful it was. So that's something we know about Austria. Austria has really fantastic landscape, and it has, and I have to say the location of this town, Gmunden, it's on a lake and with the mountains coming up behind the lake. So they were very impressed with the landscape and just this experience of the fresh air and the water and the mountains. And then they were, that it was very nice to hear that they had such a good experience in terms of the people whom they met, that they said everybody was so kind to them, and they felt so safe also walking from the train station in the night. They went to the hotel. It was a nice hotel. They liked the food, which is also, it's not so easy to please Indians, with
dietary preferences,
strange food. But I think so they did a very good job in Gmunden trying to cook what they liked. So they liked. So all round, I have to say, very positive feedback I have been getting from all of the young boys and girls. Yeah, and that's of course one of the great things about this program, that it includes boys and girls, and I'm very happy about that, because I'm a female ambassador. I have also many female employees here at the embassy, and we hold female professionalism and engagement high. So I'm very lovely to speak to all of the young girls.
Yeah.